2014 Southland Conference champions, tournament champions. Hugh, we've talked 2 or 3 times this week, but this has to be a very proud moment to see this come full circle and result in a tournament championship. Just reflect a little bit on the entire process coming to fruition today.
Sure. I think before the season started, we really envisioned this. We knew we would have a chance. We knew we'd have a strong team. I think when Keeley got hurt, one of the statements that still sticks in my head is Vanessa Coleman said, "Every team has their story. Every team has their story," and and this was ours, I guess. It's just. Bailey stepped in and filled those shoes. It took us a little bit. We had to adjust what we do defensively to some degree, but not a whole lot. And I think we just had to be patient to learn to play with her. She had to learn to play with those starters. I mean, we practice every day, but there's that group has been playing together for a very long time. But once they got comfortable, it was we started clicking, and our big goal at that point, we knew we were going to drop some matches along the way, and the low point was probably the Nichols match, a match that we felt like we should win normally, but the day before is when Keeley went down, and we're like, we're either going to kill them or they're going to kill us, and they knocked the snot out of us at that match. But that was a tough. What are you doing? It's crazy.
Emma's with us on this broadcast too. We'll talk to Emma in just a second if she wants to talk.
But yeah, so I mean, when that all happened, we really wanted to focus on playing our best volleyball, playing 3 great days of volleyball in the tournament, and there were times where I think we weren't sure if that was going to happen or not. But we had to keep the faith and keep going, and obviously it paid off.
When we all started, and you looked at the bracket, and this isn't to take anything away from what you accomplished, but you probably felt as though you were going to have to go through Sam Houston, Stephen F. Austin, and probably one of Central Arkansas or Corpus Christi, and all of which had good seasons to various degrees. So what was your mindset when you realized, okay, we're the 5th seed, and if we're going to do this, we're going to play an unconventional Sam Houston team, maybe have to square off against an undefeated Lady Jack team, and then get possibly the same team that we played last year?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was not the ideal draw the way we looked at it. It was 2 teams in the first 2 rounds, assuming that SFA is going to win that first round. There's 2 teams in the first 2 rounds that we hadn't beat during the season. We lost to twice. And we struggled against Sam. We struggled to adjust to what they do offensively. But like we said the other day, we had faith in the way we had prepared for them. So it wasn't the ideal bracket, and probably a day or 2 before that, we thought it was going to be us in Corpus, and we thought we were going to be matched up that way, and and we talked off camera before, and we felt like if we drew SFA, we wanted to do it in the semis, just because I felt like they were going to be so focused in a championship match. It was the best chance to be able to get them. Not that they weren't, but if there was going to be a chance to do it, and maybe even just from our standpoint, that was going to be the time to, maybe clip them.
Today you hit 221 and held Central Arkansas to 117. It took them a while to even get over the 100 mark there midway through the second set. Every time I look down at a final box score, I see 9s and 7s and 6s and 10s, and, I have to go back and look. I don't know whether you guys had 20 kills at any point in the season. You had, but you probably did. But lots of even distributions on the kills. Is this just almost an objective when you talk to things over with Natalie and with EJ? Is there a conscious effort to keep it that even? Because this whole tournament, the box score looked like that.
There isn't necessarily that conversation. What we try to do is we try to find some weaknesses in defense, whether it might be backcourt and our players' strengths, or front court and some kind of matchups that we might have. But sometimes it just develops over the course of the match. We might go in thinking we have this, but then Katie O'Connell's hot, and we're not going to not give her the ball. I think that a lot of it depends on how well we pass. It's just there are. We try to be balanced, but we don't have the conversation. It just works out that way somehow, some way. I think our setters have a lot of faith in all of our hitters, and that's probably why, that they're not afraid to set anybody in any particular situation. So we just put people on an island and see how they perform, I guess.
The first time that I met you, the first time that you and I ever did an interview was at a tournament, the Southland Conference tournament, when you guys were a low seed. All those years and all those writing mistakes about the timing of things. And I talked with Dave off camera about those sort of things. But in your mind, thinking back to when you and Stephanie came here, is this the timing that you honestly expected? Is this about the right time that you felt like all this was going to happen?
Yeah, we honestly did. We felt, I don't know that we said in year 5 we're going to win a conference championship, but we felt that was going to be the first time, it was going to be really realistic, it was going to be their last year of this season. And we just had so much to build. And we talk a lot about the senior class and what they have done. But, we just talked to them in the locker room. It's the people that came after them. It's Glenna Johnson and Amanda Coons and Katie O'Connell in that junior class. And they've contributed so much as well that, we needed to get some help. We need to get some help for them. And really with the way our defensive system works is years of experience inside of that system really help to strengthen it. So when you get to tough moments like this, that you can still fill in the gaps when it might break down a little bit. And you see how Stacy plays mid-back defense, and she just digs so many balls back there. She's so good with what we do and with her eyes that that's something that takes some experience and takes some training. But we kind of figured that this was going to be, we'd peak at about this time and then have to make another run. And we feel like still feel like we're pretty stocked for the next couple of years here too.
We've talked at length about the influence of Stacy DeFrancesco on this program, and one of the things that I talk to about folks all around the league is every year it seems like Northwestern State gets a good freshman. DeFrancesco and then O'Connell, and then last year Elrod, two of those three winning freshman of the year. This year you had big contributions from Aubrey Davis, but then about this time last year it hit me out of the radar, Mackenzie Neely. And today, rewarded with the MVP of this tournament, she had the final kill to seal it yesterday. I've seen the Vine too many times of that on my Twitter feed. But then she played a very good match today. I think this was sort of I think the league did know about Neely, obviously first team all conference, but this might be truly a shining moment for a player like Mackenzie Neely, don't you think?
It's a perfect script for her. She was, and I don't know if you recall this, her freshman year, she played middle for us. And she's way too slow to play middle. She's not athletic enough to do that. But it was out of necessity. We just had such an empty roster, and she had some experience in the middle from high school. And she knew she was going to do that, and she was more than willing to do that for the team. She just said, wherever I need to be, just put me. So, it took her, until her sophomore year to really get into the position where she felt more comfortable and more natural, where we could really showcase her. But, I think for her, she's just always been very steady. And she'd have some matches where she'd blow up. And then I really, I've said this, earlier today, as I felt like the Mizzou match was a big step for her. We've always told her to use her gift. The kid has a cannon. She doesn't have great foot speed, and she's not playing at 10-2. But she's got a cannon arm, and she's got good vision. She's a very smart volleyball player. And I think that, that Mizzou match, the kind of match that she had against them, and then having match point kill against them, and just wanting that ball in key moments. I think she always said she wanted it, but I think she's always kind of like, I'm not really sure if I want that. But then she started performing in those situations, and you build confidence really, really fast. And once that confidence builds for these players, they can really do some really good things. And that's really kind of what happened for her, was the flip switched early this season, and then our team started having more and more confidence in her in those situations. Our setters did, and I think then you see the culmination here at the end.
Let's talk to Emma for just a second at the end of this. One of the things since Steph and Hugh took over here at Northwestern State, I can remember way back even when they first came and Emma, tell me your brother's name. What's brother's name?
Austin.
That Emma and Austin have traveled with the Hernesmans all around the league, and we'd see them at Stephen F. Austin and see them here. I can remember toys behind the bench and running around and things. So, Emma, got to be proud of Mommy and Daddy today, huh? Proud day for NSU. You see yourself on camera?
Are you going to be shy now?
She's not going to talk now. But Hugh and Steph have always said, let's end with that, Hugh, that family obviously a big priority for you guys, and Emma and Austin, and Austin's getting pretty big. Emma's getting pretty big too. I can remember when they were both little, but that's got to be a decision that's a tough one to make, to go out on the road, bring the kids with you. That's got to be difficult for school and other things. But just talk me through sort of the family aspect of the Hernesmans just a second.
It's such a pleasure and such a joy to be able to do that and have them come along. And you're right, now that they're getting older, they're starting to miss some school here and there, and our parents have been great about being able to come, for weekends at a time and watch the kids during, really during preseason. But once we hit conference, they're with us. They love the girls, our girls, and it keeps our girls in check too, because they know that they're big sisters, these little ones here, and we tell them we expect them to be, really good role models for them. And we've got such great kids at the program, and they're so good with our children. And but yeah, it's we co-head coach here because then we get to experience this together. And if we don't do that, we probably wouldn't see a lot of each other. And so, it's kind of the way we are with our kids too. It's we're able to bring them along, and the administration is supportive of that. That's a really big deal for us, and we don't want to miss out on these years with them.
Well, I think I'm headed back to my 3 in Nacogdoches. Hugh, thank you so much for being willing to chat, and again, congratulations, 2014 Southland Conference Tournament Championship. There's Austin. Say hi to the camera before we sign off there, Austin.
Hi.
All right. Greg Miller, SFAVolleyBlog.net. Thanks for all the support to the Jacks fan this year. Wonderful season by SFA, and we'll hope for the best for Northwestern State as they represent the Southland Conference in the NCAA tournament. Thanks, Hugh.
Thank you.